We gonna make it.
It's fight week. Obviously, we filmed this 10 days ago before the event, because obviously we're not going to want to do it in person rather than doing it on a Zoom thing. So we're going to talk about the big fight this weekend, as well as the undercard. We'll fly through the undercard and then we'll do the big fight prediction. So I think the first fight I want to speak to you about is one of your ex-fighters, you know very well, Dave Allen taking on Johnny Fisher. Dave, I think from looking at his pictures and stuff he's been putting online, it's probably the best run of form he's had, like as in staying physically fit. He looks in incredible shape. And obviously Johnny, you know, this is, people saying this is his biggest step up. So what do you think? Can Dave Allen upset the apple cart, as they say?
He could upset the apple cart, but you know, it's like I keep saying over and over again, boxing's about timing. One man's on the way up and one man's on the way down. And you know, the thing about Dave Allen, I had him in this gym, I had him on that treadmill running, I had him training, and he got all the, you know, ability in the world. But you know, and I listened to the stories, and we had his protege Danny Morell here, and some of the stories that Danny was saying, what they used to get up to when Dave was fighting. He goes, sometimes he didn't even train for the fight and got in, and you know, that takes some doing. I mean, that kind of confidence, or thinking, well, it's just a walk in the park, and that's kind of Dave Allen to a T. Never worried too much about anything and got in and just did it. And it's sad in a way that he never really achieved what he should have done when he was in his prime, you know. And at one time he was at his kind of golden boy and a big social media sensation because he's quite entertaining. He's got some great stories, and he's a really likable kid. You know what I mean? He's a gentle giant, so to speak. And I had him down here years ago sparring certain people, you know, doing sparring. I've had him here training, and it'd be great to see him win the fight. And it's not beyond him to win the fight because he's got the experience. It's just whether he's still got it in the tank and the ambition. You know, Johnny Fisher's raw, he's young, he's strong, he's the bull, innit? And Dave's going to have to pull out every trick in the book to kind of frustrate him, and old man him, as my dad would say. You know, he's going to have to do an Archie Moore on the bull. That's what he's going to do. He's going to have to pull every trick out of the book and to beat him. And if he lets Johnny Fisher get settled and get confident, it's going to be a very hard night for Dave Allen. I think I said on one of my questions and answers last night on Instagram that the 25-year-old version of Dave Allen would have beat the 25-year-old version of Johnny Fisher. And you know, Dave Allen's 31, and the 31-year-old version of Dave Allen would beat the 31-year-old version of Johnny Fisher. But they're not. You know, Dave Allen's 31, Johnny Fisher's 25. That's a big difference, 6 years. Dave's got a lot more mileage on the clock. But it's not beyond him to beat him. If he's done the training, he's put everything in, he could very easily, you know, upset the apple cart and beat Johnny Fisher. But just looking from the overview, it's all geared up for Johnny Fisher to win this fight. So it'd be tremendous if Dave Allen, you know, winds back the clock and does the job. They'll keep it interesting. And if not, well, it's what everybody expected.
So Dave's got Jamie Moore in his corner, and obviously Johnny's got got Mark Tibbs and probably Jimmy as well. So all that aside, call it. What happens? How does it end?
10-rounder, is it?
I believe so.
10-rounder. I'm going to say that it's going to be a frustrating fight, and I think it's going to be Johnny Fisher probably on points.
Okay, Johnny Fisher on points. Next one, Moses Itoma, heavyweight sensation, young lad who's tearing through the heavyweight division. Massive step up for him. Dempsey McKean. Interesting fight. Nobody saw that coming. Dempsey's obviously only lost at top level. What do you make of that one?
Well, it's one of them fights where, like we say, he's getting tested, Moses, isn't he? And you know, if he's the fighter that everybody makes out to be, he should beat this kid. It's going to be a tough fight. It's a big jump up, but you know, some people relish that opportunity and the challenge. So you know, it's down for Moses to do it, and I think he can do it. But he's just got to make sure he's very, very careful what he does. Be very smart. and not get carried away with himself, and you know, box like he can, and if he does, he'll win that fight.
How do you call it?
It's difficult. It's difficult. Probably on points.
You reckon? Interesting. Next one, Isaac Law, Lee McGregor.
Another interesting fight because Isaac Law's been there and back, and he's a traveller. I saw him the other week, well, a couple of months back when I went to see Tyson. He was training, and he just loves to have a fight. He just likes to scrap. Lee McGregor and didn't quite, turn out to be what he's supposed to turn out. So I'd say that McGregor may be on points.
Okay, and then chief support Ishmael Davis versus Barinchek. This is again, Ish has had a full camp, so fitness is not an issue. Last time I think he took Josh Kelly at a week's notice and he lost a split decision. Obviously, very talented fighter, but obviously the difference is he's going from fighting at European level to a genuine top fight.
It's a big step up, and just by the measure of him getting beat by Josh Kelly, I mean, Josh is not a massive puncher, good boxer.
Josh fought him on the back foot, and I think this guy comes forward, and Ish is a counter puncher.
Well, it's going to be difficult because the kid is a big puncher. And what I'm going to say that it's going to be a tough fight for Ishmael. He's going to be probably a late stoppage. He's probably going to get stopped late or damaged, or the referee steps in. I think you've got to go through levels really, and he's took a big jump, but he'll test himself, and he'll learn from it. But I'm thinking that the referee stops the fight.
Okay. The main event, the big talking point in the main event is, and I'm going to be suspecting this because obviously this is recorded before fight week, but it's quite obvious from the pictures that Tyson looks like he's coming in heavy. So a heavier Tyson, and I've seen Shane McGuigan do an interview recently, and he reckons if he comes in heavy, he's going to get knocked out. So just that element of him coming heavy, is it the right move? And Usyk looks a bit heavier as well. So just initially on that
Well, I've got a good idea, so it makes me look really good. We'll do 2 interviews, one where I'm saying that Tyson's going to win, and then one where Usyk's going to win, and then you just put it out that this is recorded. Can we do that?
No, we'll struggle because it's going to go out before the fight.
Oh, damn.
We wouldn't do that anyway, just in case someone thinks we do that.
And we can't we do that again?
No.
Not that we've ever done it.
No.
Yeah, like I say, I think it was always Tyson's plan, and like I say, I saw him a couple of months back, and he said he's just going to go in heavy and bully this kid because he tried it the other way, boxing and being smart and whatever, and it didn't work. But I don't think, Shane might be right, I don't think Tyson going in heavy is a good idea, but you just don't know with Tyson, because when I was talking to him, he's got this confidence about him. It's like almost, he was in that fight with Usyk, and something clicked to say, you know what, this is not right, I should have done it a different way. And he's kind of had a think about it and thought, only Tyson will know if he feels physically stronger than Usyk. You see, when you're fighting, Tyson's a big fella, he's got the height and the reach, and Usyk's not as big. But sometimes you can fight a fighter, and all you're feeling is the fist hitting you. You don't feel the physical strength of the body mauling you about. You just feel the shots, and you don't feel anything else. And with some fighters, you feel the shots, and you feel the physicality of the body when they're in close to you, when you're hitting them, they're solid. And I think with Tyson, he probably thought, realistically, I should have drained this kid, I should have jumped on him, I should have held him, I should have punched him up a little bit, used my physicality on him and drained him more. And I didn't, I kind of used my shots, my punches. So all he felt with the shots, they were only feeling each other's shots. And Usyk was slightly better than Tyson with that. So I think it suits Tyson better to be more physical, with a fighter, with Usyk. It's just whether he can clamp onto me enough and he can make that physical presence. Usyk's probably got the footwork and the manoeuvrability to keep out of his way. That's where the issue is going to be. So if that doesn't work, Tyson's going to be in trouble, innit? Because being heavy is not going to make Tyson more mobile. So the plan's got to be to go in, lean on him, hit him, and getting close. But Usyk's probably better close up than Tyson, because Usyk's shorter arms, Tyson's got longer levers. It's difficult to punch people when you've got long arms on the inside. It suits a shorter arm fighter, so to speak. So, you've got to calculate Tyson leaning on and use his physical force to drain Usyk, and Usyk having to push back and get his shots in. Who's going to drain first?
motivation factor as well. Usyk, is he still going to be coming in with the same hunger?
I would have thought so. And the other thing is that Tyson has never been beat until he got beat by Usyk. So Usyk's never been beat as a pro fighter, and I always think that once you've had the beating of a champion, and you look at somebody like Usyk, who's very dedicated, focused on what he does, and when I look at Tyson, I don't think he's that same mindset as Usyk. He's got through on different ways, just being a natural fighter. He just turn up and have a scrap. It's it's just get in and do it. Kind of relied on his natural ability. I'd say that Tyson's relied more on his natural ability than his training and his fitness ability and everything else. He's learned on just having that boxing mindset. Just have a fight, turn up having a fight, whereas Usyk's a bit more methodical. So I just think that when somebody's got your number, when Usyk's got Tyson's number, which he has, he did in that fight, he's got a good idea what he's up against, and he can improve on that. And he's probably well aware that Tyson's going to come in with them kind of tactics. He's not going to fight. Tyson's not going to fight the same fight, so he'll probably be prepared for that, and he'll have a plan for that, and he'll calculate that in. So it's just whether he can calculate it in and get out of the way of Tyson trying to maul him and bully him around the ring and drain him. That's what the issue's going to be. So I don't really want to make this prediction because I'd like Tyson to win. But I think once you've got the beating of Tyson and you've figured him out, that's half the battle when you've figured him out. And I think with Usyk, because he's very smart, he'll have a plan to figure him out this second time and nick the fight again.
That moment in that first fight, obviously Tyson was there was a moment where he was dominating. Everyone was like, he's going to stop him. And then, bam, that left hand went in. Do you think Tyson's head is thinking, as long as that moment doesn't happen again?
You could say that
because he did kind of overtake.
But he got caught with a shot that Tyson got caught with the shot that every southpaw delivers and every orthodox fighter knows you shouldn't get hit with, and Usyk caught him with a left hook off the back, and he had to cover distance to catch Tyson, who's a big fella, and he caught him. You know what I mean? Moving on to the shot. So that's the shot what started it all off. But before that, Tyson, you look at that 3 or 4 rounds in the middle of the fight when Tyson started giving it Usyk, and he kind of, unravelled a little bit. Then he went back to the corner, kissed the cross, and everybody made a big wow about this. There's something on that, and he all of a sudden picked himself up again, and he came out and he got through the worst of it, and then he caught Tyson. But you just don't know whether that was Tyson having that burst. He kind of put Usyk in his place, but Usyk recovered and Tyson kind of faded. Then Usyk seen Tyson fade and picked it up again. And that's what I'm saying is that, that's the thing with Tyson. It's like, he's got to be fit. The main thing with Tyson, because he's just a big fella, he's got to be the fittest so he can keep working. He's got to be able to work and keep on top of Usyk. So if Tyson's fitness is there and he's done the fitness work and he's fitter than he was last time, well, he can beat Usyk. But I'm not sure that he has. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of effort leaning on somebody and mauling and brawling. And you also leave yourself open to getting hit easier. I always think that with Tyson, his attributes, use your height and use your reach. Don't let the little fella get near you. And that's what I'd do. I wouldn't particularly be going in and having a wrestling match with Usyk. I'd do it clever. You'd have to box him long, getting close, boxing long, getting close, but just going out and being on the top of him all the time probably leaves Tyson open to getting hit more. So it'd have to be a very clever plan. So, we'll see, won't we?
Yeah, that must be quite difficult, because I know most people call you a Tyson Fury fangirl. I don't know you.
It's calling what?
Call you a Tyson Fury fangirl, as they say. But I know you're friends with the Fury family. That must be a really difficult decision for you to kind of predict Usyk.
You might have to use my pronouns on that one instead of saying a fangirl or a fanboy. You have to use
fanboy,
fan-they,
okay,
or fan them.
Okay.
But like I said, I'd like Tyson to win, and hopefully he's going to prove me wrong. But you have to call it as you see it. And I think, like I say, I don't think Tyson should have allowed Usyk to beat him the first time. I'm not saying he underestimated him, but only Tyson will know. When I talked to him a few months ago, he was almost in his mind thinking, he's not as strong as me, he's not physically as strong, and he caught me with a shot. But I think I can go in there and bully him. And maybe he can go in, maybe only Tyson would know how he felt in that fight. You know, whether he could physically overpower him and pull all the tricks out of the bag. You remember when he did the Cunningham with the forearm and then dropped him in? You know, maybe he thinks he can do that, I don't know. But he's going to have to be smart. Like I said with Tyson, once you figure him out, you've kind of got him figured out. But it's the figuring him out part what's hard. That's the difficult bit. You know what I mean?
So I think the simplest way put, you want Tyson to win, and you hope he proves you wrong, but you reckon Usyk's going to do it.
Usyk should have the blueprint to beat him, and unless Tyson's drastically changed this camp from the last one.
Let's see how it unfolds. Thank you, Dom. That was a fascinating breakdown. Let's see how everything unfolds in the next few days. I think quick 3 minutes on this, because I should have said it earlier. Big talking point this week, the negotiations between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn for that fight to happen. They're basically saying there's a big stumbling block, percentages. And I don't know if you've had experience in percentages before, but Chris is adamant that he wants 55%, but Conor's adamant that it should be 50-50. And that's a stumbling block from the fight being made. So I think Chris's team, I think, again, Chris and Eddie had a thing on, Eddie Hearn and Chris's manager's Napa had a thing on IFL yesterday where they were arguing about who's worth more. I think Napa made the point that Chris has had more seven-figure paydays, but
I'll tell you what.
But then Eddie said Conor's had seven-figure paydays as well. So what do you make of it? Who's worth more in that fight?
Well, I'll say that Conor Benn draws a better crowd than Chris Eubank.
That's interesting. But what would you base that on?
I just if I were gonna watch a fight, I'd rather watch Conor Benn than Chris Eubank Jr.
Is that because of your relationship?
No, but I just think that, you know, it's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 split, and you know why it is? It's because one's called Eubank and one's called Ben. It's a 50-50 split, and it'd be saying if Nigel Benn boxed Chris Eubank, you know, senior, it's a 50-50. Could
they not just do winner takes 55?
He could, yeah. Why not? And that's a really good idea, isn't it? The winner takes 55, because then it more or less then says, doesn't it? Well, you know, I deserve the 55 because I'm the better man. So that let the better man get the higher percentage.
Yeah. Have you come across fights like this that have just fallen through because people are arguing about small percentages?
Look, I think Kel got paid less than Amir Khan for that last fight, but the point is, so what? He got the result. There were spin-offs from that. There was everything else, sponsorship and other stuff. And it's what you make it. It's what you make of that win. And it's like, I think I'd rather have maybe 1 or 2 million less and be the winner than a few more million and be the loser in that case, because it's how you conduct yourself from that point on. So why not make it with Eubanks and Ben, just to make it, you know, more reasonable? 51% against 49, and the winner takes the 51. And then there's only a slight discrepancy. And maybe, depending on what a fight it is, do it again. And then when they do it again, if you can do it again, well, give the 51% to the one who won the last fight.
Fair play. Don't appreciate your time as always. Let us know how them glove deodorizers do. Thank you for your time, and we'll catch you for a year-end review very soon.
No problem.
We gonna make it.